Three Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri, directed by Martin McDonagh, starring Frances McDermott, Woody Harrelson, and Sam Rockwell. And the film tells the story of Frances McDermott's character, who has put up signs on 3 billboards outside the town of Ebbing, Missouri, telling how her daughter was raped and killed 6 months ago, and nothing's happened yet, and she's angry at the police station. And so the film just goes on to tell how that affects how the people in the town treat her, how she treats the police officers, how the police officers treat her, and mostly her relationship with Dixon, who is Sam Rockwell's character, and Chief Wallaby, who is Woody Harrelson's character. They're kind of the crux of the whole thing. And honestly, I didn't really want to see this film. I mostly saw it because it's been getting some good Oscar buzz, and kind of want to be able to know what I'm talking about when the Oscars come up. I'm not a huge fan of Martin McDonagh. I'm not a fan of dark comedies in general. Of course, he's kind of one of the masters of the dark comedy with In Bruges and Seven Psychopaths, among some others. And this one was along the same lines for me, in that I was just so depressed during the whole film. I mean, depressed is probably too strong a word, but I didn't feel I had anyone to root for. I didn't feel like, oh, well, you know, Frances McDermott's character is, you know, that redeemable kind of bad person, so you kind of root for where she's coming from. Some of the things that she did, I was just kind of like, that seems a little bit much. Granted, I've never been in the position that her character was in, so I don't know what I'd do, but I just didn't feel I had anyone to root for. And so the film was just me watching these characters that I didn't like do a bunch of things that I didn't like, and just the whole film I was just like, oh my god, oh, and I just wanted it to stop. Because even at a certain point, the sad moments when some of the terrible things happen to the characters in these films, it didn't feel as sad as it could have, because I was never happy in the first place for anything that was happening to them. And it was just here, and there was no like little up happiness to make it really feel like, okay, we're going down now. Until I got to the end of the film, and there were a few things where I was like, okay, there's a little bit of redeeming happening here. And that's not to say that I didn't think the characters were portrayed well. I do think that the actors all did a good job. I especially liked Sam Rockwell's character. He was my favorite in the film. I thought he kind of had the most done out arc, and Frances McDermott will probably get an Oscar nom for this, and I think she deserves it. Again, she did, I think, a very good job, a great job with what she was given. It's just that I didn't really like the character that she was portraying, not because it was portrayed poorly, just how it was written and the things she did in the film. And then one other thing that just really bugged me is there's one key moment in the plot where something happens, and the rest of the film is all kind of like tangents off of that. And for the tangents to occur as they did, that they just occurred so perfectly out of that one moment. And it just, for a movie where outside of that is just so based in reality, in the real world, that like one thing, I just couldn't buy into it as something that could realistically happen. Because through the event that happens, I'm like, how could these effects possibly occur from this event? I can't really get too much into it without spoiling the film, but there was just that moment in the plot where, after I had already been sitting through this thing that I just thought was completely just making me super sad and unhappy, and which isn't to say that all films should make me happy, but it just wasn't interestingly sad, because I think in order for it to be interestingly sad, there needs to be some spikes of momentary happiness so that I can really feel the deepness of it, which I didn't feel because I didn't care about any of the characters. And that one moment just kind of broke it off for me. So again, I never really wanted to see this film. I don't really like Martin McDonagh's films in general, so I don't think it's a huge surprise that I didn't really like this as much as so many others have had. But hey, that's why it's my opinion, and I'm just giving you the reasons why I thought that way. So honestly, I'm going to give this one a below solid rating. I'm glad I saw it, but do I ever want to see it again? Not really.